Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 105. So far today, I'm still looking at stuff in the C++ video I've been watching from Free Code Camp. And so far, I'm just going to look at like a few things still related to functions and everything like that. So far with this, one of the earlier things is related to basically getting output from a function. So I'm going to get this set up first. So namespace std, and I'm gonna put the word using in front. Using namespace std. Basically, with this and everything too, we just started like making a function that was in the video. So it's like void max int, name of it. And so far with this, basically we just do something like int a, int b, and we'll also say int output. And basically what this function will do is basically just see which integer is like higher, and that's it. So basically just say if, let's see, what it is. Okay, hold on. Alright. Also else. Alright, so basically we'll say if, let's say, A greater than B, we'll just say output equals A. No, we'll just say the same thing. Output equals B. So basically this, we're just saying if the integer A is bigger than B, output A. Like this variable right here, output equals A. Else output equals B. That's most getting stuff with it as well. And basically here, what we do is we'll just go ahead and like put this, just make the variables for it. So say int A equals, say, 4. Int B equals 48. And we'll say int answer is just blank. Int answer doesn't equal anything. Just empty. We're going to put the answer inside of there. So from here, we'll basically just say, let's see. So far, we'll just do this real quick. Actually, I'm going to change this very real quick. I'll just call it output, just similar to the one we got up here. So just call it that. And we'll say answer equal, initialize it, so we int equals max int, say A, B, and then output. And from here, we'll just go ahead and say cout. Say just, so far just put answer. So basically with this, what this should do is, basically we just made a basic function and everything. So just call it max int. It'll see which number is bigger. And then we'll just put the answer in this variable right here called output. It can be called anything. It could have been called answer, it could be called result, could be called anything like that. Just want to call it output. And from there, that'll be stored into answer, and then it prints out the answer. So basically, that's really it. Hold on, I messed something up here. Or I ignored. Okay, yeah, I messed this up. Alright, so here's what I was supposed to do. So basically, I just erased this. And from here, I just put output. So basically, here's what's up. Alright. So again, you have A and B, both of the numbers here. We put them here, we'll see which one's bigger. It will store the answer in this variable here, output. And then we just straight up print the output here, or whatever variable that we decide to store it in here. So now it should work. Okay, so I just messed up quite a bit because I'm just getting a bunch of garbage numbers here. So far, I think what I'm supposed to do is this, because you basically can store it inside of a reference and everything too. So let me do this and now run it real quick. Yeah, here we go. So basically that was the whole thing stuff too. We just put this inside of a reference and everything stuff too and all. So no thing that. But yeah, we see it works right here. 48. We can switch it around. So just say like something like that. Run it again. It says top number is the highest. So basically, again, all this was really just to show that you can make a function, get output of it, and just use that. That was basically the whole point of the video there. Another thing it basically just showed was, again, make this a reference to get it so you don't get garbage and everything. You can also make the variables references too. So just run it again. Same thing, same answer. A is bigger. You can do that. Make one of them a reference instead and just run it. Or you can put it inside of a pointer, which if you do, you have to do something like this. So output would be a pointer, both of the outputs as well. And then the output here, you have to make a reference so it will know like where to point. Yeah, I messed it up. It goes in the front. There you go. So basically same thing. I just change it again. Just yeah. So something like that. So basically that was just the first part of the video there, just showing like you can use output in a function, or again it could be called whatever you want. I could have just called it like C or something like that, but basically just showing make a function. You can put something inside of that function in like the last variable or in any of the variables you want, and then you can just do it like this. Just get like the answer directly out of there, out of the function, and just print it. Really, do I know the like most significant importance of this? Not 100%. Again, I still think about this in regards to making a game, and even then I don't know a freak ton about it. Like I just made one, but I'm still considering myself an amateur. So this is one of the things where the huge importance of this, I actually have no idea. So that's just something from just trial and error and experience, I guess. So far, the next thing the video talked about was it basically said sometimes the compiler will just like optimize your function sometimes. So basically with this, it just basically, I'll set up like two other functions, just kind of show what it was doing. So the first one was int, and we'll just say, call it add. And again with this, basically took in int A, int B. This just say results equal A plus B. And from here, basically we just do this. We're going to see out, and we're just going to find a position of this. Or quick, I just put this. And have it return results. So basically with this, it would just take integers A and B, add them, put them in results, then it will print the location of results and just return results. So basically we can just see like where it is and everything like that too. So I'll go ahead and just do this real quick. So we'll say int A equals 3, int B equals, let's say 2, why not? And from here we'll do results equal A and B. Then we'll see out, and this one we'll just say out, and basically the same thing again. We'll say and results. And from here we'll also just print out the results as well too. So we're just saying okay, so we're going to run it, make sure it works. Okay, I'm messing up here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Always forget to put this here. I always have to put it here too. Actually, I don't think I have to. Yeah, well, we'll just see real quick. Yeah, so here it is. So basically with this and everything too, inside the function, we see this position here. And then outside in the main, we see this right here. Both of them are completely different because the endings are completely different. So that means in memory, they're in completely different locations. So this really wasn't optimized. Basically, this, the compiler defaults to like printing everything, or so for this, it defaults returning by value. So far with this, again, just two different positions and everything and stuff. We see the output here, 5. You know, but let me just go ahead and put this as well. So I just put that so we can just tell what it is. Yeah, so the whole thing with that. So with that, I was basically showing like by default, it will just like do this by value and everything, but it will return by value. So far, I'm going to make another one. So we'll just call this int, and actually not int, it's string. And we'll call this add string. So this was a string A, string B. And what we'll do is basically do the same thing. So I'll just do this. Just basically take that and everything, just change it to string. And yeah, basically same thing. So with this, it'll take two strings, combine them, and then it'll print out the location and everything as well. So it's basically doing the exact same thing as above, but with a string this time. So we'll do this. Basically say string A equals, and you know, let's say something. String C equals hello. String D equals world. And we'll say string word equals add string. So say C and D, combine those two. And from there, basically do the same thing here. Just kind of copy some stuff real quick. Copy this, paste it, and just change some things. So instead of results, it will be word. And that should be the whole thing here. So we're going to run this. I always have an error somewhere. I think I misspelled. Yeah, I think I just misspelled it. Give me a second. Yeah, I forgot the R in there. Yeah, so here we go. Basically with this, we can see again, the first one with the integers, again, different positions, so different places in memory. But with the one with the string, the end result, these two are exactly the same. It by default made it a reference. So it just automatically optimized this right here, or the string function. It says it's a thing that the compiler can do. Just it will sometimes optimize stuff by default, just making a reference. So the same position in memory will change rather than it making a separate place in memory and just copying it, taking up more space. Do I know 100% why that happens? Not really. It's just a thing I was just taught it can do sometimes. But as far as I can tell, it's probably better just to make sure it does it by just making your stuff a reference rather than just hoping the compiler does it. Because again, you don't want to like go through your stuff wondering what's going on and then say, oh, it should have automatically done it. Just make sure. I just say make it a reference by default. And from there, again, just test and make sure. That's my main thing. But That was the main thing it just showed me, just saying like sometimes the compiler will optimize your code by just making stuff a reference by default. So that's really it for that one. So far, the next thing the video talked about was basically just overloading functions. Basically, overloading functions is basically we just make the same function, just basically changing the initialization. So instead of like, okay, basically I'll do this. So make one called int max, and with that, basically I just say int a, int b, and from here, basically just do something simple. So basically, it would be return parentheses a b question mark a b. Basically, this is a some from like the video a while ago called basically just this a ternary expression, or probably keep pronouncing it wrong. Ternary, not ternary, ternary. I kept pronouncing that wrong like last time and everything as well. Basically, this is just saying that if A is greater than B, then return A, else return B. Basically, just another way to put like an if statement, just kind of like more condensed down. Again, I'll probably rarely ever use this kind of like, format for it, but just something the video had. From here, we're basically make a copy of it. We'll just call this one double. So all this would be double instead of integer, and another one. And this next one, it'll be one for a string. But so far the video used something that the person didn't even like really comment too much on what it was. So I had to kind of look this up a bit. Something called string view. And basically with string view, when I looked it up, it basically said it's a way to kind of like more optimally use a string. So basically if you have like one string, and let's say you have it like in one variable, you have a string called A and it prints out hello world. If you make another string called B and basically have it print A, the exact same string, it will take up 2 spaces in memory. So because of that, basically just string view, instead of it taking up 2 spaces in memory, it will just read the other one and that's it. It won't make a copy. So that's just like the only thing I had to look up, and with that I have to also do this. Have to use include string view. And so far this only works in C++ 17 and up. If you use it in the basic one, it won't work. So that was just another thing I had to just like look up and just figure out what this was. Don't really know why the person used it. They weren't going to explain really what it was, but again I had to look it up. So, but based with all this, basically all these functions are named the exact same thing, max. The only thing different is the initialization of this and arguments. Each one of them is like int. These, they're double. These, they're string view. Basically same thing as string, but just kind of a bit more optimal. Again, going off of what I read, I might be wrong on that, or misunderstanding, but again, just going off what I found. So basically, let me go ahead and just do this. Basically, just make like variables for each one. So say int, let's say a, say a1, why not? Equals 23. Int b1 equals 44. Double a2, let's say this. Double b2, and let's do this. And the other one, so string view, let's say a3, just being very kind of like basic with these variable names, but still. And we'll just say, let's say, I don't know, this view b3 equals world. And for this, basically, we're just going to just see out just each one of these, so we can just like see something real quick. So that's in grand total 3. So 1, 2, 3. So see out, max. So this basically we just go ahead and put the variables in there. So A1, A2. I'm stupid. Give me a second. Yeah, it's not A2. It's B1. A2 and B2 and A3 and B3. So far with this, basically just going through and just showing that each one of these functions are named the same thing. We have different variables inside of them. We have int, double, and string. And basically just showing that the compiler should be able to just look at these since, again, they're basically initialized different with int, double, and string view. It should be able to tell which one it should use. So basically just run it real quick. There we go. So basically from here, just like, yeah, the compiler just knew which one to use, even though we have them all named the exact same thing. Basically just matters what we initialize the arguments as and the function itself. And basically the compiler can just like go through that and just know, okay, this first one here should be the one for the integer, this first one, the second one here should be one for the double, and the third one should be the one for the string view. That's basically the whole thing there with that, just overloading a function. It just said it's a thing you can do. So that's mostly it. Really, that's all the video stuff kind of showed there just on these things. A lot of this stuff, again, I have no idea if I'll really use it 100% because I really haven't made too much. I've only worked on like 2 small projects, like for videos. And that's really it. A lot of this stuff I probably won't be using too much, or maybe, again, I just have to look at my notes and just come back to it. But have no idea. Again, this is just interesting stuff to know. Just I have no idea when exactly I'll use 100%, or if I'll be using this all the time. So I have like no idea with that. But yeah, so really that's mostly just it. So to myself and everybody else, see you in the next one.